Sink is an independent comic that follows some ordinary douchebag through the town of Sink Hill at midnight. This is where all the ruffians around Glasgow live, and it mimics Halloween Horror Nights without the safety of legal liability. This book builds a world of terror without meaning, so Sink number 1 is about to get dead. Sink is a book by Comics Tribe, a small-time publication out of Taiwan. John Lees wrote the story, Alex Cormack created the art and colored the piece. It all takes place in Scotland, and Cormack explains that it was heavily influenced by Blue Velvet, just set in his home country of Scotland. He flew a little too close to the sun and left out all the good parts of Blue Velvet, leaving only the twisted confusion in its wake. Did you know that Glasgow and Scotland had the best culture and comic books? That's how this book opens, by patting itself on the back with 3 friends at a bar. Then it proceeds to prove itself wrong with all the same boring tropes you see in every horror story. Maybe the story isn't all there, but the details are pretty good, right? Wrong. Unless Scottish people have faces more angular than elves, Alex Cormack had a few more lines to erase, and the accents aren't written in Scottish, Glasgow tone, they're written in a tone more akin to half Boston and half Down syndrome. Here's the crux of the comic, Mr. Dig, the fox-faced vigilante that saves our hero from certain death, tosses him back into the wild just to have his actions inconsequential a few minutes later. Now this is why I bought the book. This character seemed interesting, but this character never really shows up. He's an action hero that disappears as soon as he arrives. Enjoy this because it's all you get. But Mr. Dig does bring up something that I've thought for a long time. What's the difference between an action story and a horror story? Who has the plot armor? If the bad guy seems undefeatable and you're following the actions of those he's trying to defeat, you've got a horror story. But if the good guy is undefeatable and you're following his story, you've got an action story. Sink number 1 is a typical horror story. You meet some dick, he gets dicked, makes some dick decisions, and in the end, it's all just dick. So Sink number 1 gets a 1 on the Richter scale, which pains me. I really like independent comics, but you guys gotta try harder. This isn't DC or Marvel, you need some real stories. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest comic stories, subscribe to Dick Comics and check out nerdrift.com. Like and share this video, comment below to let everyone know it's better to just watch Blue Velvet. Subscribe and come back next week for more Dick.